Hey, it's Nicole. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I have a fun card project for you where we are going to make this adorable card. It didn't turn out as expected, but that's part of the fun. Stick around to watch how we did it. The stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh birthday signs, and I'm also using the Pretty Pink Posh party hats. This is from an older release, I believe a year or 2 years ago, so it's kind of fun just to bring out old supplies that I had. To start with, we'll want to stamp our images. I'm going to bring in my my Misty, this mini version, and I have a waffle flower grip mat on the inside. And again, we're going to be using the Pretty Pink Posh birthday signs stamp set. I'm going to grab a piece of Nina Solar White Classic Crest, the 80-pound type. I'm just going to put that in our Misty. The grip mat will hold it so we don't have any mistakes. We can restamp our images without any issues. I'm going to stamp our tiger and the presents. Kind of keep this card simple. I want to pick up our images. And you want to use an alcohol marker friendly ink. I'm using the Honeybee Stamps Intense Black, and you can see alcohol marker friendly. I also regularly use Lawn Fawn Jet Black. It's also alcohol marker friendly, but I was just wanting to play around. I just purchased this ink pad last week, so we're gonna test it out. Don't worry about getting it perfect on the first stamp. I'm going to bring in my Pink Fresh press to help me get a good solid stamp. As you can see, even using that, sometimes I just don't have quite enough pressure where it needs to be. It looks pretty good, but we will definitely want to stamp again. Very cute. I think I want to go ahead and bring in a sentiment, and I'm going to go with happy birthday, and I'm going to put that in his little sign. Before we do anything, we want to clean off our little stamps. Again, using my Lawn Fawn stamp chamois. Well, I guess it's not. Well, yeah, I guess it's technically a stamp chamois. Go ahead and peel those up, put them away. I don't want to lose them. Use Misty to pick up our happy birthday. Again, with the alcohol friendly marker, you just really want to kiss this to the paper. You don't want to do anything, you know, too much force, because it could, yeah, not too bad. And also, yeah, clean that up. And make sure we put it back in our stamp set. Now, the coloring medium of choice that I've chosen for today are COPIC sketch markers. I really love coloring with Copics. I'm not the best at it, but I do enjoy it. So these are the Copic colors that I'm using today, if you want to take a screenshot. Our next step is blending a background. We're going to bring in our pretty pink Posh party hat stencil set. It comes with 4 layers, and we're going to start with layer A. They make it really easy for you to line everything up. All right, the next step is to die cut our images and get our panel ready. I'm going to be bringing in my plates, and we're going to line this up. I like to cut into the metal shim. And if you need to, definitely put down a piece of low-tack tape. Looks good, looks good. Okay, we'll put our A plate on and run it through the die cut machine. I use a cat eye tool to help me pick up the die cuts. Otherwise, I'm, going to mess up my nails more than they already are. Sometimes you might have to run it through again, since I wasn't able to put it at an angle, but I'll just kind of make this work. That'll work. And I'll save this in my scrap pile. The next thing that we want to do is cut out our sentiment. And I think I want to cut the Make-A-Wish out of some silver mirror cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. So again, I'm angling it so that makes it a little bit easier. And we'll run this through the die cut machine. All right, bring in our tool to help us pick that up. It makes it super easy. And I'm just putting my extra die cuts on a Spellbinder's little magnet tool to help me make sure that I don't lose track of my stuff. Now, one thing that has happened, because I need to replace my mat soon, but the tittle from the eye, the dot of the eye got left behind. So I'm going to bring in my Spellbinder's tool-in-one, little pokey tool, and rescue the tittle. Maybe. There he is. He's so small. You just want to be careful. And then next I will just poke out the rest of the sentiment. It's a really dainty script. Get the wish. Just like that. To get these extra pieces that get stuck in there. Gotta just be careful because it will leave impressions on your next die cut. Save the rest of that silver for another project. Oh, the last thing we need to do is to get our panel ready. So I had set it over to the side to dry. I do think I'm thinking about possibly bringing in one of these stitched scallop ones, or I could use the biggest one. That could be cute. What do you think? Yeah, let's try that. So I'm gonna put my panel down at an angle. You can tell whenever I took or I snipped it apart, I didn't do the best job. So I just need to be careful. But yeah, let's run this. And again, yeah, this tool's handy. It helps really pick that up for us. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I see what's happening. I totally did not realize that. So I can... So yes, now looking at it, I can tell it does that it was gonna put a stitch. I thought it was going to keep the panel whole, but no, it wouldn't do that because... So that is not what I wanted. No, actually, what I'm gonna do is, this will be fine. We'll just leave this panel as it is. Now it's time for assembly. So we did have to improvise on our panel, but that's okay. That is just the way it goes sometimes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add here this panel, and I'm just going to use my Sweet Petunia glue press. I have some Barely Arts glue in there. I'm just going to put some adhesive down. I prefer to use glue when I can. And it's got a little holder that it doesn't, you know, clog up. We're just gonna go down with it. I like glue because of the wiggle room. And we're just gonna line that up. It's not perfect, but I like it. Now, since we really trim this down, I'm not sure that I'll be able to bring in both with our sentiment. So I'm thinking something like this. Like, that's kind of cute, where it hangs off the edge like that. And then the same with the wish. And I want to kind of put our little dude in the middle. I might do something like Make-A-Wish. Yeah, I think I do like the placement of the make, but there's a little bit left in that E. Don't want that there. So you gotta be careful. There's a few different ways that you could do this. You could use spray glue. I'm gonna go in with the glue press and just do my best to... The fine tip helps. And just puts glue where I need it without getting too gunky. Now, that spot on the bottom, yeah, I need to get some glue there. Okay. I really didn't need glue on that edge. Going down with it like that. Cute. Now, I know I kind of want him there. I think something like that. But I do want to move that over like that. I think that'll be cute. Okay. And let's get our glue. Some of the glue got a little gunky, but that's okay. And then don't forget our tittle. I need to use my little picker upper thing. It's an embellishment one by Studio Katia. Just use that little eraser like end. That. And then let's get our A down. I could get fancy and get my ruler, but just going for it like that. I will use a big stamp block just to make sure everything adheres correctly. While that's going on, I'm going to add some foam squares to the back of our little tiger friend. That. Picker wooden tool to peel off the backers. And for this one, I will bring in my Simon Says Stamp reverse tweezers so I can get an idea. So I want him like right there. Okay. That's really cute. You know, it was a mistake that I cut that like that, but I'm glad that it ended up that way. So you can see, you know, sometimes don't give up necessarily on the project just because it doesn't work out the way that you want it to. The last thing to do is to adhere this to a card base. I have a card panel that has been cut in half. It was a 8.5 by 11 sheet of 110-pound, you know, Solar Classic Crest white cardstock. Sorry, that was a lot to say. And it's been cut down and I scored it. And I'm going to make a top folding card. I'm going to use my glue, my Barely Arts glue. I get some that put down, just all over. So I'm just going to line it up like this. And that is our completed card project. Thank you for joining me today on this card project. I appreciate you being here so much. This is my very first video, and I would love for you to check out my blog post. Link will be in the description, along with a list of all of the supplies that I used today, as well as a list of some of my favorite crafty things. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to putting out new card videos. Bye!